1, 2, 3, 1. Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Space Marine. I'm going to try a solo Exterminatus again, because we all know how well this went last time. But this time I'm going to stick with it, and not, jump around between missions and settings and bits and pieces. So we're going to try the Calcaius Facility Escape Arena 1. And I always wish they'd actually made more Exterminatus maps, because they turned out to be one of my most favourite parts of it. And you could have actually done a lot with it, if you'd kept it going and maybe added a few more maps and bits and pieces. We shall be Assault Marine. Alright. If you're wondering, I am playing as my most favourite chapter of all time. The armor, the battle damaged armor, the Blood Angel's insignia, and the impression of, honor and nobility don't let you know onto who they are, and I shall explain. This is my most favourite chapter in Warhammer 40k, not Legion, like I talked about in 30k in my Dawn of War video. My most three favourite chapters are the Lamenters, which is who I'm playing as now. You should really look them up, because I very much like them. They have a really awesome, unique backstory, and if there are truly any good people left in 40k, then I would say that the Lamenters are on the top of that list. And if you read about them, I won't spoil anything about them, because I really want you to read about them, and it will show you why. But they are just truly awesome chapter, and they've done so much for the Imperium, so I would recommend looking them up. Second place goes to the Marines Errant. I very much like their backstory and their history and things like that. I very much like their close relationship with the Rogue Traders Guilds and the Imperial Navy, and their true, a true fleet-based chapter. And probably along with the Black Templars, one of the only few ones who actually still believe in the Great Crusade, and are still fighting to, extend humanity's borders rather than just preserve what they managed to scrape during the First Great Crusade. So they're awesome, and I very much like them. Though there aren't many much novels or history or backstory for them. It's more you have to look in the Badab War for stuff about the Marines Errant. Third place goes to the Salamanders. True heroes of the... I didn't think super highly of them as a Legion. Well, I do a bit more now. But, that would have been embarrassing. I didn't think so much of them as a Legion, just because I like the backstory of the Blood Angels and the Raven Guard and stuff better. But as a chapter, they're truly good Marines. They go out of their way to save civilians, minimize, innocent casualties. Just really decent, Space Marines who still have their humanity, unlike a lot of the things like the Black Templars that would happily, sacrifice civilians to get their shit done. Fourth place goes honorably to the Space Wolves. I know I was going to do a top 3, but I think they deserved their top 4 spot. Because, like the Salamanders, they actually give a shit about civilians. And they're also one of the few chapters that have actually said, piss off to the Inquisition, and fuck you to the Grey Knights, which I think is very well done, and those pansy Mary Sue assholes needed knocking down a couple of eggs. So, yeah. Least favourite chapters? I would say I do not like... whoa, take them down. I don't like the Ultramarines, not as a chapter, but what they represent. I mean, it's like Captain Titus, Chaplain Cassius. There are true, decent Ultramarines out there, and there's no reason to hate them all, just because of the actions of one fucked up codex right there. But they've ended up becoming referential to, the Mary Sue crap of 40k, so that's why I don't like them. The same reason of the Grey Knights. Back when Malcador the Sigillite formed them, I very much liked them. You've got Varan and Loken and all the decent guys, but now they're just a bunch of Mary Sue tosser assholes as well, and I don't see much evidence to support the fact that they're actually decent Space Marines who fight for the benefit of others more than themselves. And third place would go to... I'm just going to take care of this orc. Well, third place is actually difficult, because there are all those, you know, chapters that are just a bunch of... I know, I can't remember their names, but I always hated these guys. Though the yellow guys who have a constant thing with the Salamanders, the ones that sacrifice innocent civilians so they can get their shit done. Those guys are just a bunch of tossers. If you can remember their names, please put them in there. I hate capturing stuff. Always ends up being the death of me when I do these Exterminatus ones. But yeah, those guys. Let me know in the comments what their names are, and then I'm gonna have a look up them and be more be better researched about them. But yeah, what's grenade? That one. I'll throw a couple of grenades on that one. Oh, nice. Let's just start shooting. I can actually do this if I can keep the shooter boys from hitting me so much. So let's just put a bit of cover in their way. I do actually like that. The game doesn't have a cover system, but it just requires you to manually put a bit of wall between you and the enemy gunshots, which is actually quite nice, though I don't see how it should be necessary, since all weapons are supposed to, you know, be as effective as a bunch of Sailors, but whatever. For those we cherish, we die in glory. Yes, oh yes, I was going to mention something in previous Dawn of War video when I was talking about legions. My favourite traitor legions, I was actually going to mention them because I am a renowned loyalist, as my brother points out, because he's a renowned traitor and we constantly have arguments over why both of our sides are the correct one. But I do actually have some traitor legions I quite like. Night Lords are top on the list. I think the Night Lords are just awesome. I very much like them. They're just really good sort of... They're just terror. They're not there for chaos or anything like that. They're just there to survive. And the Night Lord trilogy with Talos and the Soul Hunter and all those things are really good reads if you ever want to read about the Night Lords. I also love the Thousand Sons. I really feel sorry for the Thousand Sons. They got fucked over royally and was forced to join Chaos, unlike everyone else who just turned because they're a bunch of assholes. And I do feel like Lamenters and the Emperor was completely 100% wrong to chastise them, but whatever. It's a fictional world that I have actually no control over. Chainsaw. And the third place would go to the World Eaters, just because they're at least honest about their treachery. They're just like, we're just here because now we get to kill everything, as opposed to just certain things. So, you know, they're honest. Alpha Legion, you'd expect me as a loyalist to like the Alpha Legion, but I actually hate them because they're not even open with their treachery. Either stay loyal to the Emperor or betray him. Don't sit on the fence like that. They're pansy assholes that they are. And I do actually hope it was Alfarius that Gilliman killed, because I quite liked Omegon. I felt like he had a lot more going on than he let on. But, and again, that's just my opinion. So, that was what I wanted to talk about on a 40k front. So I think it's... I'm going to think of more things, and this video is going to get ever more drowned out with me talking about little 40k bits and pieces here and there. But first, let me say that the Lamenters are awesome, and they have probably one of my favourite battle cries. For those we cherish, we die in glory, brothers. Which is very symbolic of how they fight for the civilian population rather than to fight for themselves, which I very much enjoy. And Brother Arkanus here, who I've just named. This is Brother Arkanus of the Lamenters Third Company, who was sent to this planet to talk about Mechanicum trading routes. And when the orcs attacked, and he decided to, as a Space Marine, single-handedly take the fight to the enemy, to allow civilians to evacuate. What a brave hero. And he will go down in memory for his actions this day, and for the impressive body count of orcs he's doing. I'm not going to capture those things because our Brother Arkanus will try and capture those things. Tell you what, we'll give it a go. Come Come on. Damn it. Ah, I will not make it in time. Oh well. Brother Arkanus tried. Come on, brothers. For those we cherish, we die in glory. Also, there isn't actually too much canon or fluff on the Lamenters as well. There is some, which is how you know the list of how they royally got fucked over by everyone and everything they've ever come into contact with, ever. But there isn't actually too much on, you know, what they were like before they started having all this unfortunate strain of bad luck affecting them. Which I do find sad, because people should actually... Well, I think it's more of a community job than Games Workshop, because they're more all about making money and being slightly dickish about certain things. But yeah, I think the fans should actually come up and make some decent canon and get it approved for chapters like the Marines era, the Lamenters, stuff like that. I mean, there are so many cool chapters out there, except the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs are a bunch of douches. That's who I should add on my list instead of those dicks I can't remember. The Minotaurs. Oh, I do not like the Minotaurs as a chapter. They're just the Inquisition's, you know, Inquisitors' pet. The Inquisition's pets. And they just do whatever they want and then get to, you know, get away with it. As long as they say, oh, we're serving the Inquisition. They're just a bunch of douches, in my opinion. But Brother Arkanus is above that sort of thing. He's just about serving the people of the Imperium and the Emperor of mankind. Because he is a true warrior who, despite the fact his power armor is, you know, broken and held on by spit and duct tape, still fights on with a chainsword that's probably, you know, completely clogged with all the orcs he's slain about now. But it doesn't get him down, not at all. He's thinking about, you know, the amount... Every second he's fighting is another civilian and mechanical factory worker being evacuated right now, so what a true hero. For those we cherish, we die in glory. Also, one thing I love about this game is it says you should do all those awesome combos, you know, square, triangle, but I just end up matching square and occasionally hitting triangle if I get a tough enemy, because when you're facing with this many orcs by yourself, there's no real time for finesse, which is actually quite true of the Space Marines thing. I was recently reading Armageddon by Aaron Dempsey the Paladin, which I quite very much liked it, and it did actually give some good stuff on the Black Templars, and I do like the character from Aldous after I read about him, and more about the Salamanders. Now I've read that they're actually pretty good guys. Come on, dice. Just take that. Smack, 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 smack. Yes. And away. Shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah, so I quite like that. It was cool to read about the battle of the Siege of Hell's Reach and the third battle of Armageddon. I like the fact that, you know, Yarrick made an appearance, and it was generally very well done. I like the bit with the Celestial Lions. What a promotion from a sergeant to a chapter master. It's not a bad, you know, day's work. Oh god, this is where I'm going to die. This is where I die, brothers. But if I am to die this day, then I will die in glory. I will die a hero's death, smiting down the Emperor's foes and serving the righteous path of the Emperor. I know I'm waffling, audience, but hey, you're a Space Marine. Come on, you've got to have a badass speech before you die. Come on. I might be able to capture these two, actually, and as long as I don't get swamped. Chainsword. Brother Arkanus, you will go down in memory. You will never falter as long as the heart of the Emperor is with you. And your chainsword doesn't break, because if that breaks, you're dead. I like the fact that I have Swordsman Zeal, which will, every time I swing my chainsaw or kill an enemy with a chainsaw, I get health back. It's the only thing that actually keeps me alive during these ones, because there's always enough enemies for you to, if you keep hitting square, you can keep getting your health back. But there's never enough to, you know, not lose health with. which I find quite interesting. Come on. Come on, Arkanus. You're not going to fail this day. You will continue. Oh! Sorry, the recording spouted out a little message in the corner of my vision, so I ended up having to. I ended up looking at it and walked into a wall. That's embarrassing. Come on, Arkanus. Every second here is another civilian saved, and more time for loyal forces of the Imperium to counterattack against these orcs menace. Now, fly. Jump pack away. Nope. That's jumping back into a wall. Here we go. Alright. Alright, Arkanus, you get this set up, then the gun turrets will activate, and it will allow this area to be secured, and you can move forward. Alright, brothers. Keep standing and keep fighting. In the Emperor's name! Attack! I bet Arkanus' warplate is probably seriously damaged about now. But I've still got some pistol ammo, so I can still take on some decent fights here and there, but I do fear for him. Reload, keep fighting. Ooh. Come on, let's try and yes, get some attacks going here. Oh, maybe it may be Arkanus' last moments here. Arkanus, do not fail. You are the righteous will of the Emperor. Every moment here is another moment for others to be saved. You will not falter. Come on. In the Emperor's name you shall triumph, Brother Arkanus. You will be honored by Sanguinius and by the Emperor for your deeds this day. Haha, take thee. Die, Xenos. Mechanicum turrets are online now. And you will all perish. Wait, are the turrets online? Oh god. I don't know if the turrets are online. Arkanus? Did the Mechanicum give you the right specs? Ah, here we go. Alright, capture the point to activate the defense turrets. Couldn't the Mechanicum, come up with maybe a less bullshit way of setting up the auto-turret defense system? Anyone? Oh well. Now, brothers, we stand in the Emperor's name. We shall not fail, we shall not falter, and we shall not give a single step to the enemy. We are the Emperor's angels of death, and we are the protectors of his land and his people. By the Emperor's will, we will not falter. Sing, sing, sing. Attack, brothers. Sing, sing. Well, attack brother, because there's only him. And I suspect he's probably listening to Imperial Guard and Planetary Defense Force Vox traffic about now. Saying, Hive 32 is overrun. We're losing the central sector. Keep fighting, Guardsmen of the Emperor. Well, not Guardsmen of the Emperor. Keep fighting, soldiers. Every second here is another second that we're allowed to evacuate the Imperial citizens from the Hive sectors. How is the evacuation of the factory sector? Progress is slow. We're being harassed by enemy fighter bombers. My lord. Keep the evacuation open. You cannot lose those evacuation points. Yes, my lord. Yes. Arkanus, you have done it. Mechanical auto-turret defense system is online. Oh, look at that. Auto cannons are just blazing now, and the orcs are dying in droves. Come now, Xenos filth. Run into my muzzle. Face the will of the Emperor. boom, boom, boom. Arkanus is doing the Lamenters proud here. I bet that if he should perish on this world, he will go down in history of his chapter as a brave and noble hero. Alright. Open the broadcast line to Colonel Marion. Colonel Marion, I have secured the inner Mechanicum Forge sector. I am moving forward to try and cut a path for civilians to evac from. Please relay all orders through me. Yes, my lord. Alright. Arkanus. Alright, Arkanus is going to cut through this area and attempt to try and link up with the Imperial Guardsmen and form an evac route. And the secondary objective is cut into the heart of the enemy and attempt to neutralize their leader, to try and cause their hordes to flee through leaderlessness. Leaderlessness? Something like that. Alright, Arkanus, you are doing the Emperor and your chapter proud. The Lamenters will honor you for this day. Indeed, the whole of the Imperium will honor you for your actions on this day, Arkanus. Even the stingy Ultramarines will have to, give you a bit of admit that you did a good job this year today. Though they did try and offer the Lamenters an Iron Halo for their sacrifice, or for their actions on one planet. But read up about it and you'll see exactly what happened with that. Because I think that's very touching on the part of the Lamenters, and exactly why those spiritual liege members of the Ultramarines are a bunch of dicks, because they fail to understand the subtleties of certain actions of other chapters. But that's just them. I wonder how his chainsword is still going. I know it's a relic chainsword, and it's from the first founding of the chapter, or a relic from the founding of the chapter. But seriously, it must be breaking, or the teeth broken, or clogged with blood and gore by now. But it seems to be going fine. It just proves the good quality Imperial craftsmanship. Boom. Suffer not the Xenos to live. Grenade. Chainsword them up. Turn them into mints, Arkanus, and you will never fail. That cat outside seemed to agree with Brother Arkanus' idea. Oh, these orc shooter boys will be the death of me. Oh, and they will be the death of me if I keep doing stupid stuff like that. Orcs should, when they do Eternal Crusade, they won't, because it's an MMO and that's not going to be how this works, but they really need to do something and maybe make the orcs shooting technology more shit, because it's so out of character for the canon, and it's so annoying from a gameplay front, because you can see how quickly my health and armor gets stripped apart by a few 45 caliber or 75 caliber shells from a bunch of orcs that barely even know how firearms work. Come on. Will not fail. Brother Arkanus, you cannot fail. People are counting on you, and you will not fail. Oh, more. Damn it. Do not die here, Arkanus. Your chapter needs you. The Imperium needs you. This turned from me talking about my favorite chapters and stuff to me just, reliving the life adventures of Brother Arkanus of the Lamenters 3rd Company Assault Marine, and his adventures on the Forge world of, let's not call it Raya, we'll call it Torren, after Action Claim. Torren 7. So we are Brother Arkanus of the Lamenters on Torren 7. We were sent here by our chapter to try and organize Mechanicum trade and shipping routes to try and refuel and rearm and re-equip our chapter. However, the world was invaded by orcs, So now it's just up to me to hold the line while as many factory workers, mechanicum officials and civilians evacuate as possible before we ourselves evacuate off the world and regroup with our chapter to form a counterattack to fight off these orc scum. By the way, the date is past M42, so cannon, thoughts moving forward. I'd love if someone watched this and made, you know, this campaign real, actually made the adventures of Brother Arkanus Tolomo, forgive me, my retardation, Brother Arkanus Tolomo of the Lamenters Third Company, then that would be so awesome. I love sort of things like that when people add stuff into canon that they see from around the place. Oh, I will not. Oh, we're dealing with some real enemies now. Arkanus, you cannot fail. Emperor is with you. No, Arkanus, no! Brother Arkanus was killed valiantly while fighting the orcs. His memory will live on. And the 183 orcs he crushed, I don't actually know, add that to the amount of orcs he crushed previously. And I think he did a very good job and is worthy of honor for being honored by the chapter and by the Emperor. Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching. Sorry this turned into me creating a little short story and spouting nonsense for the last few minutes of it, or the last 10 minutes of it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching guys. It was a lot of fun for me to make, and I will see you again another time.